So let's talk a bit more, Um, I'll start like the last video. Hello, great ape. So why do I say like that? Because it's an excellent way to not misrepresent or gaslight or even smear you, but still being a bit playful with what I can say and what I cannot say, what I will not say. Um, so I can still call you a great ape, and that's great. Um, so let's see. So yeah, I'll just repeat a bit. Okay, so I painted this cutting cord. I painted a network. I cut into the network with an axe. I did that on the 24th of April after, you know, I did that. Then it occurred. Spain, Portugal, bits parts of France, um, mm, getting blackouts, power outage, national state of emergency, and so I know that it's an enormous threshold to accept what I'm saying. And it's such a big threshold so that it's and why, because for example, if I would just not produce evidence, if I would just talk to you about it like this, just never do any evidence, well, then it would be easier to accept it. It would be this separate group of people accepting what I do. But because of the fact that I have evidence, this group cannot be established with people that actually believe in what I do. Instead, it is nothing or everything because of the evidence. So, yeah, I'll repeat that again. If I would do less evidence, it would be easier for a group to accept what I'm doing. But because of the fact that I am producing real evidence repeatedly, um, continuously, it is harder to accept what I do because it is a change to a greater, like, everyone must accept this because it's evidence based. So it if you're asking yourself how can this be, why doesn't it spread, so it's many reasons. I believe it is partly censoring, and it's partly the listeners that are um, how do you say, um, so if I would have no evidence at all, if I would just talk, that's all, well, then it would be easier to accept what I say because there's no evidence. Now there is evidence, so um, it is pushed back by the entire world. It cannot just spread like that. It's been years. I've been doing this for years, guys, and so yeah. So what I just told you here is logical. I'll say it another time. If there would be no evidence at all, it would be easier for community to accept what I do because there's no, it would be able to limit itself. But because of the fact that there is evidence, it's like uh, it becomes viral. This is viral. it is viral. It cannot go viral at the same time because the consciousness of the world doesn't allow it. It is not allowed to be accepted, what I say, by the mind of everyone. And it's weird, right? That okay, if I would have no evidence, then whoops, it would spread. It would be accepted because it would be irrational. It would be, in a way, a bit more pointless also. But I have evidence for a long time. Evidence is showing that, I tell you beforehand, this is going to become true, then it becomes true. I tell you that this is, I start by telling you that I'm predicting the future. Once you believe me that I predict the future, I tell you I don't predict the future. It's a perception. What was the word? I am proactive, you could say. Proactive. Instead of reactive. I know, things coming a bit. And so it's very weird, all of this. It is because, yeah, I'm not accepted by society, not only like this, not only in the way here on YouTube. In general, it is like that. But as I told you, intelligence is the ability to predict. Let's take an example. Or have imagination, maybe also imagination, predict. You need imagination to predict. So whatever you do, you need to predict. If you do something, if you cook food, then you need to predict how much sugar, salt, or whatever, how much cream there should be in the food. You need to be able to imagine how it would taste. You need to be able to predict how it would sound with a certain sound. If you do music, it's all a sort of prediction. So a musician playing this spontaneous jazz music, for example, when it hears the song that it plays to, it needs to be able to predict what are the other guys going to play, what am I going to play, how is it going to sound together. It is an intelligence. Intelligence is the ability to predict, and that's all. It can be limited to that. I think it's the best way to tell what intelligence is. It's simply an organism's way to analyze the surrounding. Intelligence has to do with the ability to move, right? There's a difference between plants and animals. Animals move. They are animate. So directly when you move, you need to move in the right way. You need to move in the right direction. It's all the prediction. Being an organism that moves requires you to have intelligence to move correctly, to predict the movement. This is intelligence. What I'm doing is a form of intelligence. And it is not accepted because it is dominant. It is infringing on others. It is suddenly, it's this as within, so without. This stuff. The outside is the inside, and this kind of way of thinking. And It is very mysterious, but I'm trying to create evidence and show you that there's something going on. If I would have, I repeat that one last time, if I would have no evidence, people would believe me, because it would be able to create a group that has irrational thinking, and it would be limited to that group. But because of the fact that I have evidence, it can only grow to everything. You get it? It can only do that. So that's the situation that this is in. That's the situation, and that's why there's no support here. There's no support in what I do, almost, because I don't know, like that's how it works. It's how it works. You know, there's a few, not many. So if I would just make things up, it would be so supported what I do. If I would just speak. If I wouldn't be so good at what I do, it would be successful.